while the fundamentals of marketing may have remained the same, the way to address and communicate needs to change. Very clearly, we will find that the specialists of digital marketing won't go away because it needs a certain set of technology understanding. So you will have somebody in technology who needs to evaluate the hundreds of apps that keep coming out. Yeah, the hundreds of new nuances that are possible because of the new tech. But that does not mean that as a strategist, you need, and marketing, you need different, specialists, and the specialists will continue to exist and will become larger and larger, and you'll have more and more mediums. And I don't think marketing principles conflict with channel and touch points. So the touch point and specialization in maximizing a touch point will continue to remain, and hopefully it should remain.
Right.
I mean, because it needs a certain set of ability to be able to do that.
This is the semantics. Okay, in reality, when that will really start to happen, I think we're about still 4 years, maybe 5 away from a situation where among your top 50 advertisers, you have 90%, the marketing function of 90% being led by either digital natives or people who are extremely comfortable in the digital space. That's when the real mindset change will start to occur. Or not to start to occur, that'll be the culmination point. That's also when you will see budgets going beyond that 10% threshold, etc., etc. It's already happening, but I think that all of these factors will suddenly make people sit up. It's not like you wake up one day or New Year's and say digital marketing is dead, but it will start to happen gradually after about 18 to 24 months.
I think it's the government that's going to be much faster than the private sector in doing this, because I think the commitment of the government in reaching out to the masses is so much stronger, and they've shown it and they have demonstrated it. They're going to be out there much faster. So whether it's feature phones or smartphones, they're going to be there much faster. I think feature phones are going to go away very soon because smartphones are now at about 2,500 or so. So it's going to be very easily available. So it's going to be more smartphone led. But this change of simplification and sort of just getting out there and speed of response to consumers' needs is going to drive it. And consumers' needs are spreading rapidly from the towns. Earlier the trends would start in Bombay and Delhi and trickle down over a period of 3 years to the rest of India. It doesn't work like that anymore. It trickles down almost within minutes. And they want to adopt the trend or not is their choice. And I think if marketers don't use the technology to get there faster, they're going to be very slow because the government is going to get there. And I think government's participation across all sectors is going to get more and more strong.
I think as agencies, we should evolve ourselves too as well. Communication, objectives and everything has to be done within one team, which then decides what the channels are. And as a part of that channel recommendation, it could be, my audience is this, hence my primary channel could be digital or my primary channel could be TV. Okay. So I think that strategic level is really, really important at this stage to have, to look at whether digital is separate or not. Digital production has to be separate, but on strategy level, it really shouldn't be.
I joined the conversation because if some of you look at the cards, my card, it says digital marketing on it.
Yeah.
And the reason why it says digital marketing on it is because when we crafted this role, we didn't have a role like this before. So when we sat down to discuss this role, we wanted to reinterpret marketing, FMCG marketing, in a digital world, for a digital world. Yeah. But there were other things that I'm also doing, and therefore the number of letters that I could manage on a card, I would have gone into 4 lines, and therefore we kind of, and that time, by the way, digital marketing did not exist.
The sooner we'll be able to reach our consumers, our people, and then tell our brand stories much better, make the brands relevant in their life. Otherwise, you will have more Kodaks and Xeroxes. Imagine IBM getting redundant to a generation of people. So things can happen unless brands try to change alongside with the people. And then what is pushing all that is technology. When chief technology officers have gone, now marketing technology officers have come, they have no other option but to understand, because more money is given to technology marketing heads today than IT professionals.
One point we missed is that all of it is starting from the fact that the consumer in his mind has now stopped seeing things as
Stops
siloed and
Yeah.
digital, and to them it's a screen, it's a touch point, it's a way to communicate to get what they want. And that's where this whole thing stems from. But until we are able to find the right ways to exploit that and find meaningful ways to connect with them, and that comes back to the point of experiences and what is relevant to them. Because end of the day, yes, entertainment will continue to be our biggest driver, I think, across when we connect with consumers.
Right.
But today, if you look at the accepted television universe, beyond entertainment, there are so many other genres which also work. So your news works, your utility is what I think will eventually become the big driver for people to start, for this to start becoming like our primary way of communicating with our consumers.
I think where we are moving and we have made firm inroads into that space is that we are merging all the skill sets. Initially, you cannot be working in isolation. Right. So if I'm a servicing person, I need to understand basics of coding, basics of technology to, as you rightly said, evaluate what the nuances of those apps are and therefore go back and recommend solutions. Right. So some of the agencies, if we look at it very closely, they have actually created different, very new functions within their operating systems, where no one individual is responsible for a creative idea or for revenues or for business.
Right.
It's a collective responsibility, and people go and pitch an idea or at a brand level impacting a consumer, as a group, and that's where the merging of minds happens.
I don't know if any of you, you must have noticed this campaign called Alex from Target. It just really went viral, and in the sense that it was a kind of a spontaneous, it looked very spontaneous, but actually was staged. Right? So if you're able to figure out a way that captures somebody's imagination in a way that they participate in it, without feeling like they're an audience or being like talked to, but rather like talked with. I think that would be like the dream, of all, of all marketing.